Hello everybody, it's Major Bear. I'm here with Dirk McStride. He's gonna help me make this tutorial. Today we're gonna cover infantry combat and movement, recon, basic movements and tactics for recon, tank combat, overall combined arms. I'll explain some words like manpads, ASF, AT, ATGM, manpads, if I didn't say that. If you have any suggestion what you want me to make a video about, focus, just send it in to me if you have me on Steam or on TeamSpeak, and I will do that for you. So yeah, let's see how it goes. So people, starting off, I'm gonna show you guys how you should handle the tanks. And my friend has a Russian T-72BU right here. And as you can see, I can't fire that far with my gun on my Leopard 2A5. So what you should do, if you know that the enemy has a tank over there, for example, then you should take diversions like this so you can get into the wood line here, so you can fire at him. Because otherwise, if you move over this open ground, he's going to be able to shoot you before you can shoot back at him with these 80 gems, which almost all Russian tanks and vehicles have. So I'm gonna show you an example now. Alright, let's go. If my leopard wanna move, there it goes. And then we're gonna show you how you can counter the 80 gems with your 80 gems on like the mortar, which is not ideal, but it's something if you have to cover open ground. So right now he's already able to engage me, and I'm still not close by. I need to continue forward, and he can just continue shooting this, and this is just one tank and one hit already. Now he shoots me with his gun, and I don't have eyes on. Now I can fire back. It's all with tank battles, it's all about who gets the first shot off, and you have to be lucky with the first shot, for example, to damage my firing computer stabilizer. So never go over open ground if you don't have to with NATO tanks or Russian tanks. Now we're gonna demonstrate what you should do if you have to do that. Bring up your second tank. I'm gonna bring up Recon and mortars and Leopard now. Alright, let's go. You just need to get that Recon. This is just for demonstration purposes. If I knew that tank was there, as I said, I would go for here, for the wood line over there. So we have the tank in the front, we have mortars in the back with 80 gems, and we have a Recon locks. So now we can still engage. We have eyes on. We just need to get 80 gems in firing range, and I need to turn on the gun there. So now we can engage him with mortars here with 80 gems and supporting the leopard. We got a hit. And we got him. Now we need to continue moving, and we saw a second target there, that Recon. So as soon as the leopard, well, any NATO tank will get in range of a Russian or pact, whatever, they will 90% of the time win if it's down to gun battles, no 80 gems. That's for sure. But that's their strongest point as well. If the Russians are able to keep falling back, you're gonna lose. So now we lost the Recon, and we have an enemy tank there. Now's a good time to dismount your infantry, for example, and let it walk up in the woods. But it wasn't needed this time. That's just a pretty brute example. What you should always think about when doing an armored attack is first to have Recon, you need to place AA, like I placed up Roland there, and I would have my Flak Panzer Gear part moving up. You can't only send forward tanks and AA. You need to have like mortars, Bradleys, BMPs with infantry in them, preferably, so they can gauge enemy APCs, you know, while your tanks focus on enemy tanks, etc. You need to think combined arms. Smoke before you move in, for example. Well, it's pretty simple tutorial about the tanks here. It's not much to it, you know, you just need to learn those basics. The strong points of NATO tanks and pack tanks. So I'm just gonna round it up for you. Pack tanks need to keep their distance from NATO tanks, and NATO tanks need to use more of terrain to get closer to targets like that, and getting like that. Because otherwise they're gonna get shot by tons of ATGMs before they even get in firing range. Right, now we're gonna move on to infantry fighting. So guys, now when we're gonna assault this city here. So if you don't have smoke, you know, artillery which can smoke, if you have napalm bombers, you can use that as a smoke barrier. For example, you know, there's enemies in that wood line there or here, and they will be able to get crossfire on you. So what you can do is send napalm up in the front, for example here. That will create a smoke screen, which hopefully is gonna block their sight enough. And then what you do is you move in, you dismount. If you're gonna attack a city, you don't attack with the infantry in the vehicles. You dismount them when the enemies start firing at you, or perfectly before, so they don't kill the APC and kill the tank. So as you can see now with that napalm, we have a smoke screen here and a smoke screen here. So we should be pretty much covered up from that forest. So that's a little tip. And when you do a bomb round, you always want to send seed in beforehand, and have a air supported fighter standing by in case anyone wants to take them down. So you know, seeding, then you send in the napalm bombers and smoke, or if you just want to napalm the city, that will fuck up for you as well. If you need to take this city fast and you napalm it, for example, you napalm this area, you have to go to here or to here, and then they're gonna be able to shoot you. So if you're going to napalm the city, you do it right here or here to stop their reinforcements. Right. So here we have mortars, which we're gonna use to smoke. Just gonna do like that. This part here is the furthest to my side, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure I don't get corrected shot. There we go. I'm gonna smoke as much of that area as I can with 2 pieces, and at the same time smoking as much as this area I can. You need to try to not get corrected shot when you do a smoke. There we go. And you smoke, continue smoking. Smoke a bit more. Make sure you have Recon infantry vehicles. Alright, now we continue the assault, and with the mortars we're gonna hit this back of his line, those reinforcements points I was talking about, while we do the assault. If you have vehicles like the mortar, you can use them, for example, put them at points like that so they can fire into the city. Don't go into the city before you have cleared it though, make sure of that. So now we're assaulting the city, we got decent smoke screen, and the smoke is already letting up, so start smoking again, and then you start artillerying those points again. So we have 2 mortars in position here. They will be able to cover anything that comes down that road, as you can see. And now we got into the city. Make sure you don't split up your troops too much until you know what's in there. So we just got contact there. Let's move forward. So Motstrelki. What you need to do is you need to surround them like this. Now they're getting shot at multiple angles, and you see now he trying to do the same at me. Then you need to relocate, and that's why I had the mortars there. Relocate like that. And now I'm sending in my special infantry, my bloody Falskinjaga. So, especially when you're meeting units like Spetsnaz, you always need to think about flanking them, surrounding them. So, with that command apparatus here, I'm exposing it to both of these guys here. But these ones are focusing on that right here, and they are just smashing up those Motstrelki. And these ones are also getting smashed. So we need to continue our bombardment of his reinforcements points. Move back with the command Sporas, make room for the experienced troops. Continue pushing, don't let them get a breather so we can reinforce. Make sure you can shoot from multiple angles. We'll make the job quick. So, basics of attacking a town. Smoke the part where you want to come in. If you don't have smoke artillery, you want to smoke napalm areas like that wood line over there to create a smoke stream, or over here. If you have normal bombs, dumb bombs, you can bombard this area here. But you know, ask your teammates if they can support you with anything. And don't go into with vehicles into towns unless it's a TO or something like that. Not even BPTs. Place your vehicles so they can fire at enemy forces. If you try to, for example, those Motstrelki which were there, my mortars were able to engage them. And then when you meet the enemy, surround them, make the job quick. And continue the push. Don't just take off to sit and wait for reinforcements, unless if you have enough forces like I have here. Continue, don't let them send in more reinforcements. Keep the enemy on the run. That's why we smoked as well. I did not actually know he had BMPs there. Don't go over open ground with infantry dismounted. They're gonna get shredded to pieces. Always think ahead of the enemy. So now we're gonna talk a bit of Recon and a nice anti-air network. So people, when you're setting up an air defense system, this is not perfect, I know. You should think about seed. That should be your first concern in mind. So what you want to do is you want to have IR, you know, Salcos for example, like the AMX 30 Roland, up front with some Fliegerfaust, Stingers, Flakpanzer, which you can turn off the guns on, which is radar, and then the Stinger. If they have it in Tunguska, you turn off the guns. And you keep the AMX 30s in the back, the Roland free version, which are radar. So when the enemy comes in, will come in this way here, they will be engaged by the AMX Rolands, the Salcos ones, and the manpads before they can get to the radar ones. But one thing you need to remember about air defense, even if you put up, for example, 3 Hawks, loads of manpads, stuff can get through. You know, last time I played, the enemy just flew right past my air defense. It didn't get shot down. It was a good air defense as well. Box, Tunguskas, you name it. So it's always a chance that the air defense will fail. depends on what aircraft this is, if it's a, for example, a prowler, etc. It all depends on the ECM and speed. So, as I said, keep the AMX 30 roll-ons in the front, you know, the IR and Solkus ones in the front. And if this was a real match, of course I would have taken this area a long while ago. Have it Recon there, etc., and have defenses. So, just send in your lovely seed aircraft.
I'm on the my way.
You're on the movie, yes. So there comes his seed, and he has the air superior to back it up, which is always a good thing. He's circling, which is the correct thing to do. I'm gonna be covering that in a second. So he's prowling deeper and deeper, and he could engage my AMXs, and now he's getting shot. And those MiG-25 seeds have a good range on those missiles. And this isn't the best IRA in the game either, but just gives you a basic idea of how you should put up air defense. Always keep the IR up front, keep your radar in the back. And now I'm gonna give you a little example of how to seed. If I'm going to seed Foxtrot here, what I'm going to do is, you see that it's circling. I'm gonna put it over my leopard there, and I'm gonna let it circle. And if it doesn't find any radar contact, I'm gonna move it a little bit up ahead. And I'm gonna pay attention to it in case it starts popping flares, then it's man pads. Then I'm gonna evac instantly. So, he have the range to cover that area now. He doesn't get any indication. So, I'm gonna move it up a bit. And that's how you do seed. You need to move it up a bit. Don't ever stand it in like this. Just click on the map and let it fly over there. Never. Unless you're bored. So this is not how you seed. That will get it shot down. Alright, next I'm gonna cover basic recon. So yeah, so people, recon. There's recon infantry which are elite, which have snipers. They are two-man teams, and there's some recon teams which are like the Commander Paras, five-man teams. Their training is shock. And there's teams which are 10-man groups. These are suited for going with your infantry and fighting with them, so you get recon directly on the front line like that. Then there's recon helicopters, which are great for covering a great area like this field over here. Nothing will get past these guys. Or your flanks, like put it on right here, then we'll see the enemy forces coming. That's not like the ideal position for it. And then there's, you know, the elite infantry, which you can take in helicopters, like the French Beas, Benazmi VMF, etc. Those are most suited for going deep into the enemy lines, like putting them here and turn off the guns. So you could also use them to go into the enemy base to spot for your artillery, etc., and see what they're calling out. Then what you want to do is, here's his income soon, you know, the units come in here and his air. What you want to do is dismount around here and try to walk up here. You could also, if you're bold, try to get up here. I don't recommend it on that mountain there. But you should think about, if you spot, for example, an enemy CV, don't fire at that instantly, alright? Wait for more. For example, artillery, if you see enemy artillery, don't fire it instantly. Wait for it to fire, so they will think, oh, alright, he's counter-artillery. So they don't think, alright, he has recon in base, start searching for it. You will lose more on that by just killing it before he has a chance to fire. Because then you don't know if he brings up anymore, etc. That's one of my trademark operations that I like to do with my special Recon. Just get into the enemy base, wait for his artillery to fire, and when he's pushing me hard and I'm, my defense is starting to break, I kill his CV so he can't call out any more reinforcements for a while. So, now you're moving with infantry, you get a good position, turn off the guns, and that's how you do with Recon, the special elite. And you also have Recon, which are like the Lux or T-55 Recons. Those are good for your assaults with motorized infantry or mechanized or tanks. There's also Recon like the Apache longbow, I believe it was called. I'm not a big fan of those. What you could use them for, in the beginning, try to kill enemy radar, etc. When I use them as a baiting object. For example, let's picture this cannon here is on the front line. I move it a bit behind the lines in cover of my AA, and I keep it there, and I have air support fighters circling around here. As soon as he send out his fighter, I'm gonna land it and send all my air support fighters on it. The planes, that is. And with that method you can take out many expensive planes like PUs. I see people doing that mistake. They fall for a bait, they see a high priced target and they go for it all in. And they lose badly. Alright, that's pretty much the basics for Recon, people. Next I'm gonna, teach you some code words. If you're playing in Rat Pack, for example, or in a community which play Wargame, you're gonna hear it a lot. So, yeah. So, the basic words is ASF, Air Support Fighter. If people say that means it's like a Raphael or something. It's purely for fighting planes, nothing else. Multi-role aircraft, then it's both bombing or seed and fighting. And SEOD is anti-radar. They have for example, the harm missile. They take out Bucks and Tours and Tunguskas if you haven't turned off the guns. They will kill radar. So, SEED, anti-radar, ASF or superiority, taking down planes, multi-role bombing and fighting. Alright. Enemy AT team, for example, that's anti-tank team, infantry, most likely. ATGM, anti-tank missile, which is like the TOW2, etc. Manpads, man-portable air defense, the Stingers, Iglas, and that's most of the basics you need to know to be successful in Wargame. Always think ahead of your enemy. Recon is your friend, not your enemy. And if you need something from your teammates, ask them. Don't be afraid to ask. And just coordinate with your teammates overall. Tell them what you're doing so they might be able to support you or help you in the attack. And yeah, just take your time to learn the game. And when something goes badly, don't lose all your morale and think like this is lost. I've played with players that do that, like Bolsos, for example, in one game back in ALB. It's on YouTube. It's called Last ALB Game or something like that. It was a 2 versus 4 or 3, and he for like 50 minutes said, "Yeah, we're gonna lose this, mate," and it turned out that we won, big. So never think you have lost until you have lost. Alright, I've turned games when the enemy have 1,000 points to achieve and we only have like 1,000 points, and you need to have 5,000 points, for example, and we have turned it because people just get their shit together and just enjoy the game. See you guys next time. So guys, just one last thing. If the enemy is, like I did with my mortars here, and you're just driving and shooting at you like that, for example, if those T-64 were to fire at me now, Dirk, now,
Ow.
now, What you would do is, he can only fire at his buildings here, then you jump back and wait for him to get in range. And then you jump forward and fire your RPGs or whatever. And now he's hitting with artillery. Bastard! Anyway guys, see you next time. Ah, in English, fuck you.